What is going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the markets did not do well today. We had the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ. Pretty much everything went down except for the Russell. Funny enough, the Russell did go up today, but overall, it was not the best day, and we got to break down what happened today, stocks I'm looking at, charts I'm liking. But before we do, make sure to get your free money from Moomoo, up to 5 free stocks, each of which could be valued all the way up to get this, guys, $3,500. And all you have to do is use my link down below or go to stasurfest.com/Moomoo, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, guys, cheers. Drink some coffee with me here or whatever else. Whatever else you got. I almost choked on the coffee, guys. And let's get into the video. So, listen, we had a red day. We kind of covered this overall in my previous video in terms of what happened earlier in the day. And we ended up closing in the red, obviously. Like I said, pretty much everything except for the Russell went down. The Russell went up 0.3%. NASDAQ down 0.4%. S&P down roughly 0.4%. And we had the Dow down about 0.3%. So it was a red day. And like I mentioned in my previous video, we had a huge spike after the CPI data for March came out, and then we ended up selling off the entire day. And in power hour, or the rest of the day rather, and in power hour, if I pull up this intraday chart, and you can see it on the 5-day, but let's take a look here. The losses deepened at about, or they got the worst up to about, what was it, 3:30 p.m. So 3:30 p.m., in other words, we hit our low, our low for the day, which was 436.65, and then we ended up rallying to about, where was it? We closed at about 438, a little bit above 438. And what that indicates is we ended up breaking under the lows from earlier in the pre-market and yesterday. The fact that we had that huge sell-off into the middle of power hour, that indicates, again, that we broke the lows, and that's not good. That's not good for the bulls, guys. That is good, though. It is good for the bears, or at least people that have been short, which I guess they are bears, right? In other words. So, yeah, that's what's going down right now, guys. Sell-off accelerated in power hour. We took the lows out. Not good. And I think Triple Q, excuse me, guys, I think Triple Q also took the lows out. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it did. Triple Q did, guys. It hit 338.04 at about 3:30 p.m. Then we saw a bit of a rally close to 340 heading into close. So, that's not good. That's not good. The fact that we're hitting lower lows, and we have to see what tomorrow holds, guys, because this week, believe it or not, it's not even, actually, that's false. I was about to say this week is not even halfway over. In fact, it is halfway over. Friday, we do not have trading. I forgot about that. It's Good Friday this Friday, guys. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. Markets are closed on Friday, so I guess we are halfway through, and we'll see how Wednesday and Thursday go. You know, if we fall under, let's say, 338, we break today's lows. Let's say the markets are red tomorrow pre-market. That is not going to be good, and that could indicate more selling. So watch out for Triple Q and SPY as always. And we broke down oil and gold and silver in my previous video, so no need to dive too deep into that again, but overall, crude oil closed over 7% on the day today. Gold went up 1.13%, and we had silver up 2.3% at the close. And let's see what crypto's been up to. Honestly, guys, I'm not that big of a crypto guy. You guys could probably tell that at this point. I don't really talk much about it. Let's see here. Today, crypto, or Bitcoin rather, is, wow, it's now under 40,000. It's down about 1% right now. 39.5 is where it's at. Ethereum is down 0.2%. It's at 29.87 right now when I'm filming. XRP's at 70 cents. Shiba's up. Wow, look at that. Well, you can't see it, but Shiba ran up to 0.00003. So it ran up a lot earlier, and now it's up 15%. So crypto, it's kind of break even, flat, I don't know what you want to call it. And I know Bitcoin hasn't really been doing much. It was at 45. Now it's coming down under 40. So it's been range bound for a good amount of time. So, yeah, it looks like the markets, guys, it's they're still volatile. I mean, that's what I'm getting from this. We're swinging up pre-market, we're down at the end of the day. Asset classes all across the board are going wild. Metals are up huge, oil's up big, VIX is flat, but it's been going up. It's just a wild time that we're living in. I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Drop me a comment down below, and make sure, if you haven't done so already, to hit the like button. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. And make sure to subscribe. I look at my analytics, guys. A lot of you are not subscribed. You're watching. I know you're watching, but you're not subscribed. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Again, we're trying to get 25,000 subscribers in the short term here, and then we're coming for 50. That's next. That's afterwards. So with that being said, let's now talk about some stocks that did well today, and some that are setting up nicely, in my opinion. Today we had Dow Inc., DOW. This ended up continuing the bounce. We covered this a couple of days ago when it was about 60, maybe 61 a share, right around the 180 SMA. Now it's at 63, over 63 a share, and today it went up over 2%. And what we're noticing is this is pretty much one step away from completely breaking out and maybe even taking out the recent $65 high. And again, we're at about $63 right now. So if Dow breaks out of, let's say, 63.50, into the 64s, above this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, I believe it is going to go bananas, right? I mean, it's not a tech stock or a hype stock or whatever you want to call it, but I think it could break 65, and then boom, we're going to be seeing the continuation of this uptrend, a higher high, in other words. So watch out for DOW. CVX is another one, and we've called out so many ascending triangles on this channel over the past couple of days, and honestly over the past couple of weeks and months, but really over the past couple of days, we've been spotting these patterns a lot in the energy stocks. We've talked about, the one we talked about recently, it was MRO, my previous video. That ascending triangle is playing out. XLE is in an ascending triangle, which is not yet playing out. CVX is also in one, which is not yet playing out. But today, CVX, Chevron, went up over 2% on the day, and it closed right under 175 to 170, which has been resistance for days, guys. And I think we tested roughly 173 today. So we ended up failing at 173, but overall we had a green day. And I want to see if we end up maybe at some point this week, next week, I want to see if we end up breaking out of the mid 170s. So I'm just going to put an alert. We're going to be patient with it. We're going to see what it does. I'm going to do one here at mark is at or above $175. If that point breaks, I'm telling you guys, Chevron's going to be it's going to explode. We've seen this huge push in this stock, and if oil holds up, oil goes up even, this stock's going to do very well in the short term. So keep your eyes on CVX. I'm loving it. AEP is another one that I'm looking at. This is American Electric Power. This is one that you might argue it's a little bit overbought. Sure, I mean it is. It's run up a lot. But you can't argue the fact that the uptrend is not holding, or is holding, or whatever the heck I'm trying to say. The uptrend's holding, right? I mean, it's clear, right? We went up about 1% on the day today. We saw some buyers step in around $100. We now closed recently about an hour ago, and the market's closed at about $102.30. That's good. So by the looks of it, this uptrend's continuing. We got buyers, that stepped in at 100 again. We might be going up to test $105, which was the high from a couple of days ago. And you might say, Stas, it's a bit overbought. Like I said, it's a bit extended. There's not much, there's not much upside, which that argument could be correct. But listen, if we grab this stock at 103, it runs to 106, 107. That's about 3.5%, 4%. That's not too bad in my books. So for that reason, I'm watching it. But I agree. If this thing does start coming down under 100, especially that 50 SMA, it's probably going to start coming down low, mid-90s at that point. But we're not there yet. And for that reason, we're watching it very closely in the short term. Another one that I'm looking at is AVGO, Broadcom. Let's pop it up. What we're noticing here is, first and foremost, today Broadcom went up about 0.8%, a nice green day in the midst of a red day, which is what we saw today, guys, not the best day. And what we're also noticing here is Broadcom is in a wedge. Lower highs, higher lows. We're slightly under the moving averages. on the 4-hour chart. And as long as we hold above 580, 585, 590, I think this could have upside back over 600, if we hold this high or low, again, where we are right now, and we start cracking above those moving averages again. So I think AVGO is, it's slept on. I don't want to say it's slept on, but it's in a spot where it's more oversold than overbought. Bottom of the wedge. I think we could get some sort of relief rally here, considering it's been slaughtered, guys. It is down 10% in just the past 3-4 days. So, and that's trading days. So keep your eyes on AVGO. Another one that I'm looking at, which is getting just pummeled, guys, is AMD. And every time I think about AMD now, guys, I think about that time when I was about to short AMD. And I know it shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever. It's hindsight, which I agree. It's a lot of it is hindsight. But when AMD was $140, I remember I mentioned it on my videos here. I talk about everything pretty much. I do. We were talking about AMD that day. I mentioned how I was super close to shorting it, because I just thought it was getting way frothy at 140, and then it ran up to 150, 60, and now look at where we are, $95. If I shorted it and I held it, which I probably would not have held it this long, but let's say in a perfect, magical fairy tale world, I did hold it up until now, I would have made a killing on that, guys, because from where I would have shorted it, it is down from 140 to now 95. It is down 30, almost 35%. So, yeah. I should slap myself in the face for that, but I'm not, because, again, a lot of it's hindsight, guys. We always look at our things that we didn't do and we wish we did them in the stock market, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. But overall, forget what I didn't do. The stock is down a lot. It is down from 165 to 95, over 40%. And this 4-hour chart does not look good. I'm not going to lie. It does not look good. We took the lows out today from a couple of months ago, from the end of January. That's not good. But if you pull up the 3-year chart, AMD is getting to a point where it's just getting way oversold. And that doesn't mean it can't go down more. It could always go down more. But at some point, we're now approaching the lows from May of 2021, about a year ago. If we get down to, let's say, $75, $80, this is where buyers are going to step in my humble opinion. $85, heck, even 90, 95, where we are right now. This under 100 range from 80 to 100, I think buyers are going to bid it up. I don't think it's going to get under 80 to $70 unless we have a catastrophe in the stock market, which I don't know. We might get, nobody knows, but I don't think we're setting up for a huge catastrophe right now. So in that case, if we do get down to $80, 85, I'm going to be buying back my shares, because if you guys recall, and I just spit on the mic, my bad, guys. If you guys recall, and if you're my Patreon, by the way, join my Patreon down below if you guys are interested. I owned AMD. I used to own it at $70, $75. I sold it, I think, at $118 on the dot when it saw an initial run-up, and then I missed the huge run-up to 165, but that's besides the point, guys. So I bought it, made a lot of money on it. It went up a ton, and I've been saying, guys, I'm looking for my re-entry. Now we might get it. I think AMD could be opening up again from $80, $90, $85, heck, $95. This could be where a re-entry could be, justified. I think it's a decent spot. So that is AMD Advanced Micro Devices. Some thoughts, and please let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think AMD is way oversold? What are you guys doing? Are you buying, selling? If you own it, are you selling it? Which I don't know if that would be wise, but I don't want to judge anybody out there, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know your financial situation, but what are you doing? Buying, selling, holding, yada, yada, yada. Let me know in the comments. And now let's talk about another one, which is Azn Astrazeneca. This is one that's kind of like, what's the other one we just talked about? AEP. It's kind of like AEP. It's done very well in the past couple of weeks. It's arguably overbought, but it's holding trend. It's holding the 50 SMA, right? It's looking pretty solid. So in this case, if we hold the 50 SMA, as long as we maintain above it, we might be going from 68, 50, 69, maybe back over $70 again. But the second this stock buckles under $68, we're probably going to see a retracement down to about 64 to 65, which is right by this 180 moving average, which would mean it could drop 6.5%. So Azn's one that I'm not dying to just jump in right now, but If it starts coming down, or let's say if it holds 69, we bounce, maybe we can day trade it there. But if it buckles under 68, like I said, then I'm going to be more interested in the lower mid 60s. So let's talk about DPZ, which kind of is like AMD in a sense, where it is down a lot recently. Probably not as much as AMD. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's not. AMD is down 40% from all-time highs. Domino's is down about 30%. Still a bear market, still pretty bad, but not as bad as AMD. And I guess like AMD, Domino's 4-hour chart does not look good. We hit a fresh low. We're under the moving averages, but like AMD, the 3-year chart looks pretty dang good in my opinion, guys. This stock got way hot, way overbought. It might have even gotten overvalued on a fundamental basis as well. It might still be overvalued for all we know. I don't know. I haven't done evaluation on DPZ, but based on the chart, this looks like we're holding the 180 SMA, point blank, period. That's simple, guys. Look at that. We're holding the 180 SMA, which held during the other sell-off, which we saw, when was this? About over a year ago, February of 2021. And you guys saw what happened after that, right? I mean, and look at this. We even held the 180 SMA back in 2019 before the pandemic. So this stock looks good in my opinion. And look at what happened the other times that it's come down to this moving average. We went from 220 back in 2019 to about 380 in the early days of 2020, and this stock didn't even do that bad when we had the COVID crash. How much did it go down? 20-25%. That's really not that bad. And then it rebounded. And then recently, the most recent time we tested it was about a year ago, like I said, February of 21, and we went from 330 to 570. The stock went on a ridiculous 75% rampage. And I'm not saying it's going to do that again, but from where we are now, 390, if we crack above 400, could it run mid 400s, 500 again? No doubt about it in my mind. So for that reason, I'm loving DPZ and AMD. And honestly, guys, if I had to pick two stocks to swing for maybe 3, 6, 9 months, you know, based on the list that we just went over, the 7 stocks, I'm picking DPZ and AMD. I'd put money in those for the next couple of months. But that's just me. That's just me, guys. And I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do, so keep that in mind. And with that being said, we'll wrap the video up. Might as well. We're about 17 minutes in. We talked about everything. Might as well wrap the video up. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and make sure to get your free money for Moomoo. You get up to 5 free shares of stock, each of which could be valued, I said each of which could be valued up to $3,500. Just use my link down below, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your money, guys. And with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, peace out.